We'll get started. Okay, so we're going to call the meeting to order at 10:09, the Citizens Amphitheater Committee. I have committee member Susie Lance is present, Amanda Quintanilla is present, and Wayne Eggleston is present. We are meeting at the Krikorian Theater site. I need an approval of the minutes from the committee. Did you guys get a chance to review those?
So moved.
Yes.
Motion by Eggleston, second by Lance. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And all opposed? Okay, wonderful. All right, so with that, we'll jump right into old business. So we have some members of the public here, which is wonderful. This is, it's a formal, informal committee, really intended to do some brainstorming by way of the council's direction to talk about what would an amphitheater or performing arts center at this point look like for the city of San Clemente and its residents. So we talked last week about maybe an outdoor amphitheater is a bit of a big bite at this point. So let's look at maybe an established facility that already has walls, and maybe we can convert to some extent. So one of that's our first topic is site considerations. This is by no means my meeting, this is the committee meeting, but I'm here to kind of move us forward. So does the committee, do you guys want to walk through the facility? We have Jim Nguyen here, who's the listing broker on the property, and can give us details, I would assume, about the lease and what the property owner is looking to get here. How does the group want to do this?
Introduction and then forward.
Take it away, Mr. Nguyen.
Okay, yeah, let me give you, bring you up to speed with what the owner is doing right now. So a number of months ago, the owner hired a local architect to develop plans to turn this space back into shell condition, and those plans are almost complete. And then those will be turned into the city for plan check. So the idea is to remove everything that's in here, including their second floor mezzanine, and the second floor was there for the purpose of the projector equipment. But those walls are bearing, and so part of taking that down, they're going to have to install new columns, new fittings. So it's a pretty large ordeal to do all of this. The contractor that they met with, another local well-heeled contractor, gave them just kind of a thumbnail $1 million price tag just to do the demo. So at this point, we've talked to all the theater operators and on a regional basis, and mainly due to the outlets, there's no interest in operating this as a theater, and then also just the theater business itself has changed immensely. Even pre-COVID, just the amount of product that's coming out from the theaters and how many movies they're showing, how many blockbuster movies are coming out, are a lot fewer. So like we've seen AMC go in and out of bankruptcy. So the whole theater model seems to be changing a lot. So that's why they're kind of abandoning the idea of theater and saying, let's just get a general retailer in here. And so they have a demising plan, which is right about in the middle of this wall right here. It would put a demising wall if they couldn't find a single tenant. And one side would be about 9,500 feet, the other about 13,500. That would be delivered in just shell condition. So that's where the owner is now. The lease rate on the building is $225 per square foot net, and then the net charges are about 65 cents a foot. So all in, it's about $3 per square foot. And of course, you have to pay your utilities. And then we have an offer from Zion Church. They started out at the outlets. Now they're operating out of the high school. So there's an offer from them on the property. They asked for the owner to provide some tenant improvement dollars, and the owner was not willing to do that because of the amount of capital they're going to have just to put this building back into shell condition. And not only that, all the air conditioning units are original and are past their useful life, so they're going to have to replace all the air conditioning units on the building as well. So that's where we are. It's the status of the building. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Yeah, so what is the offer that they put in? Can we ask?
Yeah, I can't divulge. Yeah.
So it's only open, are they entertaining selling the building at all?
No, we've had multiple inquiries about that, and I thought that they might change their mind a little bit once they figured out how much it was going to cost to get this space back into shell condition. But just this week, we actually had a conversation. They have zero interest in selling.
And then, maybe this is putting the cart before the horse, but as far as parking goes, if, let's say we were looking at it, considering it for performing arts use, what type of parking would be available?
So when the theater was operating, I think the number was 300 parking spaces because they do have reciprocal parking agreements with that building right there and all the parking on the other side of that building. And so I would imagine that the number of visitors for performing arts would be pretty similar to a theater, but I'm sure that a conditional use permit would be required and a new parking study would be required. They had the urgent care facility that's partly under construction at the outlets. I'm not sure what's going on over there but prior to me being involved in this project, they did make an offer on this property and they did do a parking study, so there's somewhat of a parking study that could potentially be worked off of, or rehire the same parking study company because they're already familiar with the property. But yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be understood and explored, is the parking.
And then aside from the air conditioning that would be mandatory regardless of who came in, is there any estimate on, or are there any other immediate needs? Like if another tenant were to come in, like for example, the church, if the church came in, do they need to go back to bare bones? Or would
The church is going to go back to bare.
They would.
We would deliver it to them in bare bones, yeah. Oh, and the roof needs to be redone as well. So they're going to redo the roof, they're going to redo the air conditioning, and they're going to do the demo, the property owner.
They'll do the demo for the $1 million plus the air plus the roof. Okay, and then the church, if they acquired it and as someone who would be leasing it or an entity that would lease it, then what other type of renovations do you know they would be planning to make, or what anything else required?
Build out a sanctuary area for the church portion of the operation, and then they have multiple classrooms for Sunday school.
Is this building ADA compliant?
I doubt it. Because, well, the ADA rules change.
Yeah, they change quite often, but any new use in here would have to be ADA compliant.
Well, for sure.
Yeah, it would have to be ADA compliant.
I'm just wondering.
But if in
It does
fact,
even get in here, but I don't know if the stairs to the.
Well, that's, yeah.
I don't know.
well, as a shell, it's
Right, but if we were to come in, we may not want him to demo out those load-bearing walls because you're saying it's for the projector, but that's where our tech, lighting and sound would go.
Right,
So
on
we wouldn't
the
want
second
those
floor,
walls taken out.
absolutely.
So it would save
Right.
quite a bit of
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Absolutely.
No, that'd be really attractive to
Yeah,
them.
and we run 2 theaters, so if it's on this side where there's 2 auditoriums, we would keep both of those sections above.
Exactly.
Not for projectors, but for tech.
exactly, that was my question too. The second floor, if a theater comes in, not a theater, but a performing arts, or even the church, you know, one would think that the second story there would be something they would want to keep.
The church doesn't require a second floor.
It doesn't
Don't
need
they
to.
do video though? Don't they do filming of it though? Because I saw on YouTube that they do film and it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't
So,
necessarily need a second floor.
no, because they can mount.
Or like for
We mount
lighting.
projectors.
They mount cameras, yeah. And they'll mount their projector, and they'll mount their projector equipment. So, yeah, they don't really have physical access.
The ideal thing would be for the church to lease it and then others to sell it.
And they're open to doing that because I spoke with them and told them that you were looking for a facility and that might be attractive to them because it will help them make the rent. So,
Right.
yeah, they're definitely willing to entertain that.
And they were looking at the whole facility, not just half? Yeah.
And the whole facility. That's a big bite for them, isn't it?
Sure is.
Sure is.
How many do they have in their congregation?
I'm not sure. But their financials are pretty decent.
Are they?
How many people are going to that church?
Like the other church at the outlets, Calvary East, they bought the largest building in the business park. So these churches generate revenue to the
Concord is also where the chamber is.
Up on Petito, that little side street's Petito. That's what that was originally built for Quest.
Will they
Diagnostics.
entertain long-term leases? Like how long of a lease are they?
I would think so. We could introduce you to them. We could see if we could work something out. If we're able to work out something with the landlord, because we're still negotiating.
Yeah, because the TIs would be pretty hefty, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to make sure that you got a long lease out.
Yeah, let them do the TIs.
Well, I don't know that they probably would like demo floors, the wall coverings and things like that, but I don't think that they would build out a new theater for us to our specs. We would probably have to take that on. And we're
Well, they're going to
prepared
be building out their sanctuary to their specs and what works for them. But perhaps if they wanted to do something with this group, maybe they could modify what their build out is so that it would work for both parties.
Tell us a little bit about your group.
So we have two theaters currently. We have a main stage that seats about 100, and we have stage 2 that seats about 60. Optimally, we'd like to increase the size of that because we're having to do so many shows to accommodate. Like we just did Sound of Music, we did 16 sold-out shows, and 1,600 people. We could have done, if we would have had a 150-seat theater, we could have done 30 fewer shows. So we'd like to increase that by a little bit.
And where are those located?
We're in San Juan Capistrano.
San Juan.
Yeah. So we have two theaters, and we do everything from comedy, Beatles tribute bands. We do 10 performances a year, 10 different shows a year. So we usually have a kids' summer camp program. We partnered with Capital Unified School District for internships. We're very, very involved with the community. So we're not sort of a standalone. We are really more like a performing arts center, but we've been there for 35 years.
Wow.
And the building has been sold through the Land Use Act.
It has.
It
Yeah,
has.
do you know the theater we're talking about?
Yes.
It's next
Yeah.
to the
Right.
park or the
Right.
historic.
Yeah, historic downtown Park, yeah. So we're over there. So we have probably somewhere between the next 18 months to 2 years before we'll have to move.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But we're completely intact. Like all we need to do is take that and just move it to another location. I would say within 2 months we'd be on our feet with starting back up fully in full swing. We have all of our own tech equipment. We have our actors. We have sets and props. We have everything.
How many seats do you need?
I would say anywhere between 100 and 150 would be good. I think 150, so optimally, it would be great if you imagine a rectangle and the front third of the rectangle is seats, the back of the rectangle is seats that could be kind of cordoned off. So let's say you had a smaller dance recital or something. You don't want it to look like there's only a couple of people.
Right.
It's kind of cordoned off with those accordion walls through the back third of the theater. And then you flex up for larger things like Sound of Music, but we just pack people in there. So it would be nice to have the flexibility. That's optimally, but I would think somewhere between 100 and 150 seats.
I would imagine moving also to San Clemente would increase the business that you have tremendously.
Well, I would say that 80% of our patrons come from outside San Juan. So there's only 20% in city that are coming. 80% it's magnets. And the other statistic that's very interesting is that for every dollar that's spent at the Playhouse, $8 is spent in town. So we bring in millions of dollars because everyone goes to eat first, and then they walk across the street to the theater, and then they go walk back out for drinks. So millions of dollars are spent there. And we have shows almost every single weekend of the year.
Terrific.
Yeah. So it brings a lot of revenue.
And how do we find you? Who?
Actually, it was Leslie Eisner contacted Councilwoman Laura Ferguson, and then Laura gave Leslie my number, so.
Actually saw an article in the newspaper
Cool.
about it.
Very cool.
And I've been looking and looking, we've been looking for about 6-8 months for a property to move to. And, yeah, there's really not anything in San Juan to move to.
Well, there's also, I know that we're here at the Victorian, but also the Miramar is now started up once again, as far as they've got refinancing.
Yeah.
And so, fine now.
What are they actually doing at the Miramar?
It's to be an event center and a food court.
Okay.
Wayne, did you get to meet Amanda?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And
And you're
then,
with,
So I own Ballet Academy and Movement. We're right down the street, and this is starting our 3rd year. We have 350 students already, and I know it's pretty exciting. And we're really needing, we're out of our space. We're already built out. We need more space. The dancers are jumping into the ceilings, literally. We can't do partnering skills that we need to do, overhead lifts, and we call these menages, but you're running, you're jumping, and I've got some professionals that are there that we need space. And for performing, it's been really difficult.
Yeah,
I looked
sure.
at renting, but we really need a little bit more. 250 to 300 is what we usually sell out for seats. And we do a Nutcracker and a spring performance. But my ultimate vision would be to have a facility, a training facility, and a theater attached, because then you can have the kids doing summer intensives, you can bring in companies, you can do festivals, have dancers dancing, and then go right into the theater.
so if they lease, there are options, are there not then, for assistance and subleasing?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Plus, of course, then we have the school.
right, and unfortunately, it's unfortunate that Kirsty couldn't be here because she was the one that, I think she said she served on the board at the Star Theater in Oceanside, it's a movie theater converted to a performing arts center.
Oh, wow.
So she's really key to be involved in this conversation. But just to reiterate what I learned from volunteering at the high school shows, there were well over 300 people in attendance per night, up to 500. So, yeah, lots of needs from not only that group, but the extended groups at the high
Wow,
school.
so there's really a lot of need in these communities for a facility like this.
I mean, I can't even close it.
Oakland Playhouse is very anxious to be involved in this as well.
Oh, Camino, we're
That's
out.
mine.
I'm sorry?
Oh, you're talking about Cabrillo?
Cabrillo?
Yeah.
Well,
Cabrillo, yeah.
Cabrillo has their own facility,
Yes.
that I believe they own it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like 60 seats. It's really small.
64.
Yeah, it's
Very
really
small.
small.
Yeah, very small.
And I think they're very protective of it.
Very protective, yes, and rightfully so.
Yeah, but I'm sure that they have extended capacity wants, right? So maybe that's something that for their bigger shows, they might be able to want to pull off a little bit and utilize some additional space.
Who do we have a contact there for?
We do, yeah. They're members of our chamber. And,
Michael Lopez?
Yeah.
Michael Lopez is the director. Sandra.
Who can contact them?
I can, or you can, the members of the team.
I mean, it's really so difficult. Right? We have Nutcracker coming up. I can't announce our dates because I can't get a theater. I don't know. We might have to go to Oceanside. And this is not going to be great for my parents. They're not going to like that. Yeah. And so it's really quite difficult. And there's really need. I have other friends that run competitions, and I don't know if we want that, but they bring in thousands of people. If we rented that out, you could make so much money.
You should come and come over and talk to me because, once we're doing Charlie Brown Christmas,
Yes.
which is a very small set.
Yes.
And once that closes, I mean, I know we don't have the capacity,
Yes.
but then you just do multiple performances.
The problem is that because of the dancers already, they're so strong, we need at least 50 by 50 for a stage. Because otherwise, the choreography having 20, 30 kids on the stage, it just doesn't fit. Already Dana Hills, we were kind of...
Dana Hills is really, really tiny, but we're at least 35 feet wide, and we've got at least 15 6-foot ceiling, so,
Okay.
I mean, you could lift and.
Okay, yeah, that's a jumping. Okay, well, that's great, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
just a tremendous need.
That's right.
Okay.
Shall we
Yeah.
take a tour and,
Love to see.
those of you who are experts in performing arts space, please chime in. Jim, I recall when we were here previously,
Grab my
there were
stuff.
2 larger.
Yes.
So there's two, the way it's built, there's two traditional style, old school style theaters on the side that people look at. And these 4 here are stadium seating. And you see what that means when we walk through.
And how many seats each theater?
I don't know that offhand, but I have that information available.
This is really comfortable.
Yeah.
No, it did not need it.
So I mean, this is probably 150.
Oh. So when you guys are rehearsing, you're on the stage rehearsing? Yeah.
So we just built the stage out, right?
And she's just jokingly said, "I'll take this one." But
Yeah.
that's another option too. We actually had an entrepreneur that was, Copa. Is it Copa? Are you familiar with them?
I've heard of Copa.
She actually ended up getting a job, but she was looking at taking a couple of theaters for her that she was going to operate, and then she was going to rent the other ones out for like music venues. So,
Interesting business model. Mm-hmm. It's very needed.
and then even like a couple of the theaters, she was going to convert to just like, like a laser tag operator or an axe. They have axe throwing is a big
Yes.
thing now.
It's the second time I've
A
heard that in
video
the last
game
24 hours.
area. So her idea was to kind of have like a master facility where that reception area was kind of common area space, and then she was going to operate a couple and then rent the rest of them out.
Interesting.
So
About there, right?
Well, maybe they don't want to demo a lot.
yeah,
You know,
You said there were 6 theaters?
correct.
And what was the seatage in each of the theaters?
They vary from theater to theater. If you can give me your contact information, I have a drawing that shows how many
Excellent,
seats are in
yeah.
each theater.
Can you send that to me as well?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, I can send it to you, and then you could just distribute it.
Yeah.
Okay. Give myself a note.
That was to there, and that's without a crossover.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
For the screen.
excuse me.
What is behind this?
It looks like scaffolding.
A wall, yeah, nothing. You can kind of look through that screen and see the back wall there.
So what's behind that wall, do you know?
That's the exterior wall.
Exterior.
Open up this door.
So it could not be expanded further back.
No, that is where the hairstyle is, I think. It's the bearing right here. It's just the exterior wall.
This exterior wall, okay.
The other theater.
It's totally doable for us, though.
Yeah.
We just built the stage out.
Yeah.
But, what,
You know, you can go this way a little bit more, use a couple of those.
And actually, I wouldn't have it up that high,
Yeah.
no.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
but,
Probably
I
right.
mean,
Yep.
other than building out the stage, we
Yeah.
could start like tomorrow.
Yes, that's
You
true.
got the tech booth and you got all the chairs in there in decent shape.
That's true. Yeah. And so what did you say, 150, so you lose a little bit of space if you did that, but
Could also take out the front row.
Yeah.
And bring it forward.
that's what I was thinking maybe here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this is a perfect spot for you then?
perfect.
For them.
Jim? Yes?
This is a perfect spot for her.
Oh, okay.
She can take that one. I need a little bit bigger.
Let's keep going.
But yeah, it's kind of amazing because it's already, yeah.
This has just been sitting here waiting for you.
Exactly. all the time.
Oh, this is a little bit different seating, different.
Is this bigger?
It's similar in size, just a rough count on seats. It's just kind of laid out differently because the other one had more seating along the edges.
Uh-huh.
And when Kirsty saw this space, she was kind of thinking, remind me, Susie, if I'm incorrect, that we take out this wall to make it one larger space, right?
I couldn't remember if it was on the side or the other side.
I know, but I can't remember either.
That Jim knows the layout.
Mhm.
To me, I thought it was on the other side, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, opening up a wall
Yeah.
and making, or, yeah,
Yeah.
that type of option.
Have a little bit of a large, because she also needs a larger stage, I think, for her production.
Yeah, 300 to 500.
Yes, yeah. But it would be nice, ideally, I mean, it would be great. It is nice to be able to separate the rooms, so I don't know how hard that would be.
I wonder what type of, like, wouldn't it be cool to have like an
Yeah.
option?
Yeah.
But I don't know if they use those accordion soundproof things.
Oh.
But this morning, I was meeting with Sonas.
Oh.
And that's their specialty, like inside aesthetic
Yeah.
sound opportunities, and they're interested in being involved in the project.
Oh, maybe I should talk with them about the studio, if we blew out that center wall so we could open it up or something. Oh, cool. That's been the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Kirsty, when she first saw this space, she was thinking of opening up one of the walls so that we could make it a little bit larger. And we couldn't remember if it was this one or if it was the other one. Do you remember?
I don't remember
Yeah.
about that discussion.
Yeah.
I think Jim was mentioning about the height of the.
On these two, the floors go, it's not the same layout exactly the other way.
Oh,
That screen
I see.
faces the other way.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, you could combine them, but there's going to be some work on.
That's
I
right.
think it
Putting
was
that
two
together.
over on that side that were the
Side by
same-
side?
Side by
Mhm.
side, the bigger ones, that they were kind of duplicate.
The other thing we would need to do is to either take out the first few rows of seats so that when you build the stage forward, you have dressing rooms behind, because
Yeah.
right now, how are you getting the actors on the stage?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's not,
And
yeah, bathrooms, and for us, for the kids, you really have to have a space that they can be quietly waiting before you bring them out.
yeah.
Soundproof walls.
Yes.
Could the upstairs areas be utilized for things like dressing rooms and quiet spaces and stuff like that?
Maybe, it would just,
Possibly.
you have to just kind of create a little secret passageway for them to get onto the stage, not, affecting the audience, yeah. But that would be so cute, you could kind of see them like peeking out. Yeah,
You also need a shop.
yes, and
You gotta build the
storage,
sets
Yeah.
and store all
And
the stuff
storage.
pieces and tech equipment.
yeah.
Well, space is certainly here. How many square feet is this building?
21,000 or 24,000.
24, and
Yeah.
how much is?
So we currently are in 8,600, and, anywhere between 8 and 10 would be great for us.
So if they split 9,500,
That'd be great for us.
Well, let's do the stadium.
Let's do it.
Maybe like that, even better.
Yeah.
as my grandmother would say, beggars can't be choosers.
I like that.
This is something. Bring all these people together.
And we do have a bathroom here. Yeah, it's just sitting here.
Yeah, still looks like it's looking forward to this.
Yeah.
She's here, and we walked through it once with Jim.
Oh, you have already?
I think we,
So she knows about it.
her idea.
Forget that the 6:30. I think there's another one.
Oh, this was way back.
Way back.
Yeah,
Okay.
before the.
So for
Okay.
exiting, they have this
We have this
behind, so you're talking about how to get
That was her thought.
Oh, this is even better.
It breaks my heart to think they're gonna tear it down to the bare bones.
Well, yeah, especially when
I mean, it's so,
it's so perfect for so many groups.
and you know, Wayne, this old style,
And you're never going to actually get next
No.
to where we entered.
there's this charm. Oh, I need to see the secret. This is a secret
Yeah, this is a
passage?
secret passage.
Oh, I love
That
it.
could work
But backstage.
for moving around actors, yeah.
So, but we just need a place to put them. I guess we would have to,
Dressing rooms.
dressing rooms and like a.
Staircase to the second floor? No, because that's over there. No. Could we do an underground tunnel, Jim?
Why not? Why not?
Just to shoot through the theater. Shoot them down.
Yeah.
A slide.
It could be part of the program.
Although, if you had both of the theaters, this hallway could be a dressing room and this hallway could be a dressing room.
It's tight.
I know it's tight, but
Or you could
it's,
modify that at the theater to take a chunk
There,
of that
see,
down.
that would be done. Is the theater attached here? Oh, that's,
Yeah.
is that looking weird? Oh, no, we
No,
went in
because we're
there.
completely on the other side, yeah.
Okay. So that's an idea. Because that is, there's 3 theaters, 1, 2, 3, all connected. So that, and that's a smaller version.
I think that actually might be a part of it.
Do you want me to hold this here? Let me hold
No,
this.
that's probably not what it is. This is
I don't know, but it's part of the experience.
We'll try it from the other side.
Okay. That would make sense.
We're converting one for all the storage and everything, and then the other one for dressing room, or half and half.
Yeah, I mean, if they're talking about combining the 2 theaters, building the stage all the way out, taking out the front 3 rows so that you've got a substantial stage. It would be super long this way, it'd be super long this way.
It wouldn't cost
and
much
then
for
one of the other
the
ones
dance
is the
flooring and what they need. It's not,
And, yeah.
it wouldn't cost much. Okay, especially for lighting and everything over there.
So heck with the church.
Yeah, they're out. They're out.
They're out. So funny.
Samantha, have you met Amanda officially?
Yes, in right when we started. I actually need to start taking my daughter to your studio.
Yes, you do.
She just wants to dance. She wants to dance all the time.
She can do Nutcracker with us.
Oh, she should.
Well, hopefully, if I get invited again.
You are absolutely invited. You're already casted.
I am.
I was going to ask you, are you excited to do it again?
I will do. Yes, I will do. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I was nervous that, gosh, you're so busy.
It was really fun. It was like the most fun part of my year.
Oh, that's so special. It was so magical.
We'll have to change it up a little at a time.
I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
Maybe Joss Meyer's very unpredictable.
Yeah. You never know when something's sleepy. Oh, you never do. That's so fun about it. It's magic.
That door was really jammed.
So that's right next to that other door.
you might want to push.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to, if we did have some type of a accordion here.
I don't know if they make those, but an
Yeah.
accordion wall that's soundproof,
Yeah, they
is that
do.
even a thing?
I've seen
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Have you? Oh, yes.
Seen it at
I've seen accordion walls, I don't know if they're soundproof or not.
Well, I was just saying, I just had a meeting this morning with Rob Rowland, who is the VP over at Sonance, and their whole specialty is soundproof, but aesthetic, not soundproofing, but sound that's beautiful and hidden. And, you know, he's kind of interested in being involved. They're not sound for like staging sound. It's a different kind of system, which I don't, you probably know and I don't, but they're more the ambient So that could be interesting to bring in a company like
The
that.
challenge would be for folding walls that you have a sloped floor. So,
Right.
yeah, I don't know how that would work. Maybe they could customize it, I don't know.
And this one seats, how many, do you remember?
I'm not sure.
Is it the same as that one? It's a little smaller, right?
That would be amazing.
About the same?
Yeah.
Can we get into one of the tech booths just to see?
Yeah, we'll go upstairs when we finish looking at the theaters.
And this is the number of seats on both of these. Do you have any idea?
I'll send a drawing out to everybody so
Okay.
that they have the number of seats per theater. The biggest theater is behind the concession stand.
And that goes to that door? Or no?
That one, I'm not sure, that other door that we looked at down the
Yeah,
hall, I'm not sure where that goes.
Okay.
That's what we have to find out.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll find out. Find out together. We'll do an adventure.
Yeah, because we just had to buy it.
One more than largest one.
We bought them.
So what was that? They took out, tell everybody at the same time, be careful where you're walking right now. There are bolts coming up out of the floor. So when they took the seats out, the bolts are still on the floor. So you're not going to see them until you step on them and trip and fall.
Yeah.
So it's probably better not to walk through here because there's bolts everywhere. But I'm going to see where this door is.
Okay.
Oh, interestingly, the chairs are already out. The seats are out.
This is their bowl
And,
seat.
yeah, that's what Leslie was saying, that they're so expensive to,
So this is that other door that we were looking at. So it connects to another hallway.
Careful, Susie, with all those.
Okay.
but Leslie, could you not do maybe some kind of a fundraiser, like people buy their seats and put their name on it?
Yeah, we do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, this is just terrific.
Look
Wow.
at the ceiling height. Isn't that great?
High enough for jumping.
Yes, we can do a lot of partnering.
High enough
We can
for
flying.
Look at the stage you can put in here.
Yes, yeah, this is, careful, watch your step.
Be a good,
All the bolts are here. She said that people tripped and fallen on. Like right here, there's one there.
Thank you.
But yeah, this is definitely a big enough stage for what we need. And I think for Kirsty too, right? For Kirsty, I think when we spoke, ideally 50 by 50 was what we had kind of spoken about with Kirsty, what her needs were.
I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
For the stage space for Kirsty, for her productions, 50 by 50, I think she had said.
I think, yeah, it was on the larger side. You saw the stage when we went. I don't know how big that was, but
About
it's
50 by 50.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe even a little, it could have been 40 by 60, but I think when we spoke, we said, 50 by 50 is enough that you can get sets in and out and still do what she was doing. For dance, we don't really use too many sets. It's usually just the space.
Well, there's a lobby and there are theaters. Perfect.
Yep.
So again, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Pardon me?
I said sorry to interrupt, you weren't finished?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, so those two next to each other, then this is the third door, which could be potentially like a room for changing or set or whatever they needed.
Yeah, because you could take this out
Right.
and then convert this into like a set construction area and a green room for the performers.
Is there offices here anywhere? Do they have any offices?
There's, I'll show you where there's potential for 2 offices downstairs, and then you could use the upstairs area for an office as well.
And so how much would it cost to demo this down to flat, just this one?
I don't know. We
Yeah.
haven't had any quotes for that.
Yeah.
But this is concrete, and there's dirt underneath it, so it wouldn't be cheap, but it shouldn't be cost prohibitive.
A lot cheaper than demoing the whole
Right.
building.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there an elevator here?
There is no elevator.
Okay.
See the last one, and then we'll go upstairs? Yes. And then the last one is the largest one, I know that.
Because for performing arts, if we're doing a performing arts sort of school, we will need just open rooms with mirrors and, you know, that could be the rehearsal all the time, but the advantage of, you know, you can have a couple of studios, you could have two studios in here. You know, kind of like how someone else has those 2 rooms backstage, we could do that here. We would have to have that to appeal to the competitions and conventions and companies and they have a rehearsal space. Okay.
There's a total of 6 theaters.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like it's harder almost to supplement. So kind of let the church kind of take on everything and then help that from them. Yeah.
So there are a total of 6 theaters.
Yeah.
4 biggies, 2 smallies.
4 stadium seating and then 2 traditional seating.
So much potential.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is pretty easy to set up shops.
Yeah, busy quickly.
Yeah.
The seats are also not the code.
They're not. Uh-oh. What do they need to be?
Well, you can't have more than 14 seats across without an aisle.
So we'd have to take at
You'd
least
have to
one
take
out,
out,
the center row or
like,
something?
like something like this one,
Yeah.
it's got 20 seats in it.
Yeah.
So you'd have to take out center seats to make, unless these were just coming out anyway, but I think 14 is,
Why do you have to have,
that's the code,
oh, is it?
fire code.
Do all of the theaters do this right now? Oh, they do? Okay.
That's why I'm counting, I think
Yeah.
these are 14.
I don't think that the high schools are doing this.
That one's 18.
Yeah, it's still too long.
Something.
That one's 14, but the one behind it is 18,
Or 60.
unless it's grandfathered in, I guess.
Yeah.
No, as soon as we make a certain
Change.
threshold of improvements, it'll, we
Yeah.
Yeah,
have
you
to
have to
bring
go
it to
by code.
code.
So we'd have to take out center seats.
And it's not historical buildings.
Not yet.
Right behind that one, one of the lines.
So you'd have to take out the 2 center seats all the way up and make an aisle.
How hard is that to do with these?
I don't think it'd be hard.
Yeah. Okay. How much do you think it would cost to build a stage up here?
I don't think it would cost a whole lot to build a stage up. I mean, probably, I'm guessing $10,000-$20,000.
Really? Great.
Yeah. Because you can get the prefab metal
Okay.
things
Okay.
that support it.
Yeah.
And the flooring that goes above it. And
Yeah.
I don't think it would cost a lot of money to build it.
Okay. And then to put in, would it need to have a scrim? Or what are kind of the standard features?
Well, it has no technical lighting at all. So you'd have
Yes.
to put in all the bars, you'd have to put all the intelligent lights in, you'd have to put all the sound, I mean, it's got speakers, but you need to mic it, right? So you need like either choir mics or boundary mics, or it'd be a lot of equipment you'd have to put in.
So about 50,000, do you think is good to, with stage and everything?
I would
per-
say and including the tech booth, now that's, I mean, you could be at $100,000 just in technical
Yeah.
equipment and lighting.
Right, per theater.
Yeah, per
Yeah.
theater. And then you'd want a curtain
Yeah,
that, I don't know if these close or not, but you'd want a functioning curtain.
yeah,
Doesn't look like it.
yeah. Functioning curtain wing.
No, that is,
It's just money.
Yeah, that's all.
All that money we saved on lawyers for the district thing, we can spend on the theaters.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Or we could
Yeah,
stop
don't get me
not
started.
do $10.9 million for pickleball courts at Steve Park.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, that was my thing for them.
That's a lot of
Pickleball
money.
courts, I'm sorry.
Is that how much they have budgeted for that?
Not my project. I just take directions.
That's right.
How did it go from 1.2 to 8
I just take
million?
directions, so.
Went from 1.2 to 8 million, geez. Oh,
Wow.
1.2 for
We can do a
temporary
lot with 8
pickleball.
million.
Do a lot
We know
with
what to
1.2
do.
as well.
Now, if you can integrate pickleball
Yes.
into the Performing Arts
There you
Center,
go.
Yes.
there's your win.
There we go.
They had someone looking at this place to have an indoor pickleball
Really?
courts.
But yeah, sponsored by pickleball.
Yeah.
It
The
could be
arts.
multi-purpose then,
There you go.
see? Look at that.
That lobby.
And it'd be fun playing pickleball in the stadium seating like this. It'd add a whole new element. Challenge.
Actually, the dads would be thrilled. Go watch your children
Yeah.
and play some pickleball.
That's great. Well, I have about 20 minutes
Yeah, let's go
until,
upstairs.
yeah,
Okay.
let's
This
do
way?
it.
Yes.
This way.
Bringing out the back.
And then they have a computer or a game room there, so that they converted to office as well for small.
Well, I also have just a traditional office We're at 100 main stage,
And the main stages are about how large?
We're about 35 feet wide
Uh-huh.
and almost that deep, maybe a little bit more shallow, maybe 30 feet shallow.
Okay.
And, but then we don't have wings, so optimally, we want it to be wider.
Yes. And what are your dates for the Charlie Room?
We run from, you don't have to use the stairs. Thanksgiving
Okay.
to December 17th. Yeah.
So there's a restroom here, kitchen, and another potential office could be, this was their candy storage area.
Looks like small props to me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. In the Valley Road. This is where Twitch is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're not doing that yet.
That looks like small props to
What
me.
is it? Point shoes in professional companies. Every company has point shoe areas that it looks just like that little cubbies where your point shoes are in. Yeah, but she's saying small props.
Well, I guess that could be a small prop.
Oh my.
This place is huge. I had no idea this was big.
So just like a shopping center with different stores, the owner can split this up and lease it separately, these separate groups.
Potentially they could look at doing it that way. It probably would make more sense for someone just to masterpiece the whole thing.
Yeah,
Because
who's going to do that?
the city.
Yeah.
And then, because then you're going to have that shared common area, that shared lobby area. That's why it seems like it would make sense for kind of a master operator to come in to maintain that area and schedule that use. Otherwise, it's just going to be free for all, common area.
Well, but shopping centers have common area.
Yeah, but not under roof. Potentially, I mean, I guess you could rent a theater, by theater, but they're going to want a long-term lease for the whole
Yeah.
property.
So each theater, yeah, this is exactly.
This is a good VIP zone.
Yeah. That's right.
Wayne, this is our area where we're gonna have our sit down,
Our
have a little
VIP.
VIP, have a cocktail for all the people that Amanda brings in from where?
All over the world.
Good.
I'm already starting. I already do. I have Duncan, his company. He's ready to come. I told him when we do the grand opening. We have everyone, I've been forwarding you the Vail
Okay.
Festival. All of those dancers through the summer come through Colorado. They're exceptional. And they're already doing it. They're already here. So we just bring them here.
Yeah. That's a good
It's just
idea.
another 13-hour drive. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's a flight.
That's more of a flight.
Yeah.
Just back here.
Oh, they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other side,
No, I mean, there is a real need for theaters.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just by listening to everyone's descriptions, there's a need.
Yeah. It's so frustrating just going through the Capitol School, and it's so expensive. I'm paying $20,000
Oh wow.
for 2-3 days
Oh yeah.
for a production. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, if I could figure out how to rent it out for people for a fraction of that price.
I can share that.
Yeah, you'd have people come from all over, so it's not even just this basic community, it could be.
It's all over.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. So how much, if we did think of it that way, breaking up each different theater, how much would the rent be for each theater? And then
Well, it's still
sort of-
$3 a square foot.
Yeah.
You just figure out the square
And I don't
footage.
think the landlord's gonna rent out
That's a
just,
lot.
they need
Right.
to rent the space.
Right.
So
They're
needs-
not gonna break it up.
Someone needs to come in and master lease
I like how you
the whole
stand like
thing.
that. Watching
I can't help myself. I try. Well, maybe they would consider it, right?
No, I don't think so.
No?
Yeah, no, they need someone to take the whole thing,
The
and
whole
especially
thing.
now that they have an offer for the whole thing.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Zion might
That's-
sublet it. That's
That's a
different theaters.
big-
Yeah, but
Yeah.
their space requirements are going to be much different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's not going to probably work out.
Right, yeah.
So it's going to be but in shopping centers, they split up spaces. They have common areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, mall.
Just have to think ahead.
And just knowing the owner, they're not gonna wanna do 6 different leases for 6 different theaters to 6
No.
different entities.
No.
Yeah.
But maybe half.
But if somebody master leased the whole thing, then they could be renting out the other theaters and figuring out how to charge for the common area that everybody's gonna need
And
and
to make a
want to
profit
use.
on that.
And the bathrooms and everything else too.
How many theaters do you need?
One. At this point, one. But sure, I could figure out more, but one to start. And I think she needs 1 or 2, Leslie?
I have 2 theaters.
Yep. So she needs,
So we got three.
And what about the high school?
she does right now 3 productions a year. And, but her and I could probably share. Her and I could probably figure out timing that are, when she's doing something, I'm on the next weekend or something like that.
She does 3 and you do,
Right now, I'm only doing 2.
2?
Yeah, but I would
That's
like
5.
to do 3. And if I had if we're right here, I would be using that space for rehearsals as well. Instantly, like today, if we started this. Yeah. So that would become our older kids, and my business really can't grow if I don't have a larger space. We're kind of at a little bit of a standstill. So I was already thinking about renting a church and seeing something like that. But if this is happening, then yeah.
This type of space is ideal for all of your needs.
Yes.
Is that correct?
except the only concern that I have for me, Matt, I don't know about you, but timing of this.
Yeah.
I don't have years
Yeah.
to wait on a renovation
Yeah.
and
You have 18
permitting
months.
and
Yeah.
all this stuff. I'm going to have to
Yeah.
go someplace.
You have 18 to 24
I have
months.
18 to 24 months,
Yeah.
and I gotta go.
Okay.
And if I don't know where I'm going by Christmas, I would say I would have to look at renting a space, but then investing the money to build that space out,
Yeah.
so it would be a long-term rental
Yeah. And your rehearsal hours are from
in evenings,
from what time to what time?
like 6:30 to 9:30 at
Okay.
night, and sometimes
Yeah.
Saturdays. Yeah.
Well, we'll make it work. You can at least use my center, and you might have to rent theaters or something, but
But it's not just the rehearsals.
Yeah.
I have how many thousands of square foot of
yeah.
couches and chairs and
yeah.
props and
Yeah.
paint and
Yeah,
You know,
you have to
stuff.
rent a space or something, yeah.
Costumes and-
Yeah. You have to rent storage or, I don't know.
I'd have to rent storage, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to act fast.
But how long would it take to build up at least one of the theaters for you if we took just one of these shelves.
It's not just building up the theater. It'd have to be ADA compliant in
Yeah.
order for the city to approve us to have people in here. So, and I don't know, that might mean the whole building has to be ADA compliant with sprinklers and
Yeah.
all that. So it might take a long time.
Yeah.
It will take some time.
What's Zion Church doing regarding ADA compliance?
Well, they're starting from scratch.
Oh, they're starting from scratch,
Yeah.
sorry.
So the exterior entry is going to be pretty easy compliance-wise. That's probably just a matter of striping because it's already pretty level getting in and out of there. But yeah, as far as like restrooms and all those
Yeah.
things, yeah.
So Samantha, it's all up to you now.
Okay. I think I think everybody's a little tight on time anyway, so why don't we, at our next meeting, talk about some funding opportunities and strategies? I think that's probably the next logical discussion. Do we want to meet again, committee
Soon.
members? Okay.
And probably involving an architect to try and figure out how to tie in all of your needs and what modifications you can do to the theater might be helpful to make decisions too.
Oh, wow, yeah. With Barton Crandall? He's retired, right? Retired architect? Wayne? Can we reel him in?
So when would be a good time? Do you guys want to look in the next
In a couple of weeks.
couple of weeks?
Yes, we need to move forward.
Does next Thursday at 10 work for everyone, the same time?
Do the council people want to meet without us, or so they can discuss things?
Well, I think at first we need to come up with a...
Yeah, they're public
Yeah.
meetings, so you guys are welcome to come anytime.
Next meeting's on the what? The first week in September?
So yes, my plan is I need to provide a report back to council, either the first or second meeting in September. So that's either going to be the 5th or the 14th. They have kind of a off schedule this year.
Yeah, so the first meeting in September, is that doable for you to have a report?
Certainly,
Okay.
based on our discussions.
So it'd be good for us to be at that meeting.
Okay.
So, but does the committee want to meet before that? Okay, so it could be, it would have to be next week. I have to be able to notice it, so it would have to be Thursday or Friday of next week.
Friday would be better for me than Thursday at 10 because I have to be in Irvine at 11.
Okay.
Or I could meet earlier.
Let's do it Friday.
Amanda, how does that look for you?
Friday's fantastic.
Friday works? Okay, and
Okay with you?
Yeah,
what
sure.
time?
Who else can we have?
What works for,
Kirsty, remember when we talked before?
she said 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Maybe we do a 1 o'clock on Friday the 25th.
Okay. It's so crazy. I mean, we just started school on Tuesday, so this is like crazy, crazy time for
Is
her
that,
and us.
yeah. Is it hard for you, or could
No.
you do Friday at 1?
Anything before, after hours, the meetings are hard for me right now because the studio just started. So 7:30 is right. We have classes. It's hard for me to be there. So mornings are great. I can usually make mornings.
Is 1 p.m.
is great.
Is fine?
Yep. Yeah, I can
Okay,
be right
cool.
at the studio. Yeah.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn to August 25th at 1 p.m.
So move.
And do I have a
Should we-
second?
Second?
Do we want to propose to change of name to our committee from Amphitheater Committee
That would have to come through council.
Okay.
So we'll just continue
that.
forward.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I think, isn't it just Amphitheater Subcommittee, and then they already add the arts and,
Citizen, yeah, there is an arts and
it
culture.
was on the, on the agenda on Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, so we
It's funding from.
adjourned at 11:08. Thank you, guys.
So since they don't, if